and let's get started with our journey into the new year, right here, right now. Before I get started, I wanted to speak to why we are doing this. And there are primarily one reason that I wanted to do this, because to me, this is the most defining moment of the year. And I want to make sure that as members of the community that we all are, I am able to share this framework, process, wisdom, experience with all of you. And I do it resolutely every year. Every year, there is a small change. There is something that I have learned during the year. There's something that I have experienced during the year, due to which there's something that is enhanced in the offering to all of you. So, first of all, let me take the opportunity to thank all of you for your presence here. Your presence is very meaningful to me because it guides my work and it guides my mission. Thank you. So let us begin with two important things that I wanted to state before we get to actually what we're going to discuss today. First, some of us are reflecting on what change we need to welcome into the new year to make it slightly better, to make it a little bit more meaningful, to make it a little bit more joyful, of course, for it to be energizing our everyday, and how to make it truer to who we are, more authentic to who we are. So there may be any of these reasons why we want to think about change. Because if there is no change, that is a flat line. Then every year needs to keep getting better and better. So there is something that we all need to add on, remove, change in the new year. So the same old is not good enough as a gift that we give ourselves. So in this time of the year, it is important to gift ourselves something. We all give gifts to each other, right? So it's important to gift ourselves this thing that I would like to make something better in my life. That's the gift you give yourself because change is hard. So it is something that you commit to yourself that, hey, I will do this for you. You are my best friend. You have lived with me all your life. And there are many more years to come. And I will give this to you. So that's why it is so important. Change is essential. And that's the gift we need to give ourselves. Sometimes we think, hey, I already know this change is coming. I know what I have to change. So in that, how should that change? Let me give you a simple example. I am going to change home. I'm going to change location. Like I am going to change location next year. But how should that change be welcomed? Right? Some of you here are going to change home for sure next year, right? How do you want to make that change happen? In a manner which makes that better than where you are today, more meaningful, more joyful, more energizing, right? And more true to who you are. Same principle. And therefore, it's about in that change, which I already know is going to happen because of variety of reasons or a decision you made, how do I make that all of this? So that's the broad principle. The second most important thing, many years ago, I had spoken about the fact that resolutions don't work, intentions do. And I lied. Based on my experience and wisdom, then I thought it was the truth. But it's not the whole truth. The whole truth is we need intention with resolve. But if we had a resolution without intention, without knowing what is meaningful, in what way is it better, and how that brings joy to us, simply resolving is also not good enough. Or just having an intention is also not good enough. But today we will discuss intention. Another day we will talk about resolve, how to build resolve. On that note, we'll start our journey. You're all welcome to open your cameras if you feel like, or to leave it as it is. Doesn't matter. First of all, I wanted to state this. When people go through some journey like this, they immediately want to go and tell someone how to make this happen. Make it happen for you. Everybody else will come on to this when they need to come on. There are other sessions which we'll hold too. But think about it for you. Make it true to you. Make it meaningful to you. Make it joyful to you. Selfish as it may sound, if we all live, I joke about this, many of you have heard this, heard me say this. The world is 8 billion people waiting for someone to improve their lives. Just if all of us, on the other hand, made our life better, the world would be a better place. More joyful place, more fulfilling, and more engaged. So just focus on yourself. Everything else will fall into place. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. And remove the boundaries just for the next half an hour, 40 minutes. Just remove all the constraints that you've laid out because you've already optimized for all the constraints. So just for this moment, remove the boundaries. And then you can put them back after that in whatever form you want, you choose. So this attitude that this is about me is difficult, but I want you to hold it just for the next half an hour to 40 minutes. Take a moment to write down, why are you here? Take a moment to write down, why are you here? And I'm not going to ask anyone to share anything today. You're most welcome to ask any questions, but nothing is going to be asked to share. So you can be 100% honest with yourself. Why am I here? Why am I here? It could be a question. It could be something that you want to change. But why are you here? And you can't write, I came to understand the framework about writing intentions. Sorry, you're here for yourself, to make something happen for yourself. Write about that. So what will, even if you came to understand the framework, so what will you do with it? This is not a session in theory. This is your life. So why are you here? Be honest with yourself. And it can't be, I'm going to take this framework and share it with my partner, my children. That cannot be the main reason that you're here. Because this has to be about you. Why are you? Having answered that question for yourself, I'll give you some more texture into that. How do we add more texture to that? Here, the way it is. First question. Just write it as thought bubbles, no full sentences. What were my most inspiring moments this year, 2023? Don't go back too far. If there's something beyond 2023, let's say 2022, or something that comes to your mind, you can add. What were my most inspiring moments? Just take a moment to write it down. My most inspiring moments. It's just a process of reflecting on why am I here. I'm giving you a 3-step process. What were my most draining moments of the year that was, or the year that is passing, or even before that? My most draining moments. My most energizing, inspiring, joyful moments, most meaningful, all of which adding up to being my most inspiring moments, or that which was weighing me down, burning me out, pulling me down all the way, in spirit or in body or in energy, my most draining moments. And as a function of these two, 3 simple changes I see. What is the change I see? Now, it may happen next year, it may not happen next year, it doesn't matter. What are 3 changes I see? This is with respect to my life, not with respect to somebody else's life. Just this, right? Be honest. This is about you. We will build on this over the years, so don't worry. It's Subha, you're going too fast, doesn't matter. Just in the moment, just stay in the moment. Let that mind come here, right? Into this moment. Having said that, I wanted to share 2 stories, 2 very inspiring stories for me. And on the left, there is this 3 youngsters who found that they enjoyed spending time with their grandparents. They're based in Mumbai. I'll send you the link later on the chat and all that. You can go and read that about that. And they started this movement by which they wanted to recruit good fellows. And these good fellows do nothing except spend time with aging people. They take them for walks, they read them stories, they simply sit and have conversations with them. Right? So they've so far recruited around 65 people, and that is meaningful to them. That is joyful to them. That is energizing. That is not their whole life. They do this on weekends. It's not that this is the only thing they do, but this little thing they do every week inspires their life, energizes their life. And you know how meaningful it is for them, right? It can be for the other person, how inspiring it can be for both people, right? Energizing both people. So that's on one thought for you. I'm just seeding some ideas for you, right? Of stories of people who are living their best, living a better life, living an energized life. On the right, I'm talking about basics. I know this person well. Her name is Chandra, and I had done a social post on this on LinkedIn. And I had the most inspiring conversation with her because she essentially uh, is the person who handles the cleaning. She personally does it of the whole premises of the condo where my mother lives. So I asked her, how do you manage to smile every day? You come at 8 a.m. and you're here till about 9 p.m. and you get back home much so late. So you're putting in 12 hours of work every day. how do you, why are you, how you manage to keep smiling every day? And for her, it's very simple. She said, I'm so joyful that I can work. That's it. That I can work. Every day I work, it is so inspiring to me because I am able to keep the place clean. I am able to interact with people. I am able to engage with so many residents here. And to me, it is also physically fantastic because it keeps me fit. In a way, I'm contributing to the world. For me, just sweeping and cleaning is my way of contributing to the world. So I asked her, what is your formula for happiness? And she simply said, work. And she said, if everybody can work and do something for the world will be a better place. So thinking of work in a meaningful way, not thinking of work only as I'm going there to earn money or I'm going there to become a billionaire. Thinking beyond. Okay, that is the way she's thinking about work, and that inspires. Now, I'm not saying we don't want to become billionaires. I'm not casting judgment on any of that. But what inspires us is this every day. Just connect the dots. Just connect the dots for yourself, right? All of this is about you. I'm giving you other stories just to help you connect the dots for yourself. We'll have time to interact soon. We are all about stories, people. If you have the time to read this book on sapiens, it says that that's what differentiates us as a species from all other forms of human species that existed, and also about all other animals or living beings that exist. That we are connected and inspired by stories. Therefore, my question to you is this: what is the story that inspires your everyday? What is the story that you are the hero of? What is the story which is central to your life? Give it some thought. Just write down a few elements of that. What is, again, if life were to be better, if life were to be meaningful, if life were to be energizing, if life were to be inspiring, life were to be joyful, life were to be true to you, because this is honest to you, what is the story that you would like to live in? This is your story. Because we let everybody else write on this page, and it gets very confusing after a point of time. So this is that silent half an hour, 30, 40 minutes, where you get to script the everything that needs to be on the page. Just write it as thought bubbles, no need for full sentences. Any language is okay. Just write it in a manner which is from your heart. That's why I say honest to you. We all need a story. We all need a story. Otherwise, if you don't write it, somebody else will write it. You are living in a story. You're living in many stories, but did you write it? So I'm again thinking, you say, I'm already living my best, but if you don't want a flat life, you want a better life. You want a little bit more joy. You want a little bit more meaning. So add those. I'll give you structure. I'll give you more structure. Okay? But just write these elements, and that structure will then come in for you to put those elements together. And it could just be about that change which is already going to happen. That's also fine. It doesn't need to be mega. That's why I wanted to show you Chandra's story, that it's not some mega story that I'm impacting a billion lives, something like that. It can be something like what she does, which is so meaningful and inspiring to her. Okay, just one more minute and we'll move on. I've set aside at least 15 minutes for us to talk about all this. So let what come spontaneous. That is honesty. Otherwise, the mind will litigate it and think of what is right. Okay. Now, first, what is at the core? Begin with this. Now we're starting on the journey. You just put all the ingredients. It's like in a cooking metaphor. Everything is there. We're going to pull it together now. So the first step, ask yourself the question, what is in next year going to be the most important for me? Is it my work? Is it my relationship? Relationship includes home, um, community, or is it just going to be about me? When I say about me, it could be, hey, I want to become healthier next year. I have not resolved. Maybe I have a chronic condition which I want to progress on next year. Maybe I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I know I have a condition. Like yesterday, I met someone who said, hey, I have diabetes. It has been handed down to me. It's a legacy that has come down through generations to me. But see how I'm eating. I'm not able to make this change. So I asked her, um, so do you want to make this change? Do you really want to make this change? Is this a priority for you? And if so, why? So that is me. Okay. That's the me quadrant. Um, or it can be about relationship. I'm changing home. I want to build some stronger relationships. I want to make a change in the way I relate to people at home or uh, a core set of friends. I want to have a relationship, could be with a particular person, or it could be that, oh, we're going to move home and I want to have something which grows that relationship. Or it could be work. I have a transition coming at work and I want to make this better, more meaningful than it used to be, more energized than it used to be. Or I seek that kind of change with respect to my work. I don't have to change my work, but I want to bring that into my work. Or I could change that, whatever that would be, right? Or I am right now in transition and what kind of work that I wish to bring in. And therefore, work is important to me because that is transition and I want to move to something new. Or it could be community. I want to be present for the community. It could be our community, it could be some other community that you are part of that is meaningful, joyful to you. And you want to bring that, you want to add that element. So, can I have all four? Of course, you can have all four. But not more than two will dominate. And you need to make a pick right now, which is the most important for 2024. Not for the rest of your life. Just take it one step at a time. 2024. And maybe you can have a second, but not more than that. Right? Some of you are very clear. This is the only thing which is important. Some of you are not yet sure. So give yourself the space for two because you can't make too much change. It will not happen. It takes energy, commitment, resolve, all of that, right? As we'll see as we go along. Okay. So what is at the core? Now, how to build that inspiring story? How to build that story that is going to energize you. So first, I want you to take a little bit of time to think about it this way. Just take, we've done a lot of work so far. It's just your mind is ready. And your mind is ready to say, what are the ingredients of your inspiring new world? What are the ingredients of your inspiring new world? So if I were to describe a picture from December 2024, what would that world look like? With respect to the two core or one core element that you pick, or with respect to the change that you are seeking. So just keep it to that, right? Your inspiring new world in 2024. And in that world, who do you touch and how? What positive impact that are you creating? Who are the people that you're touching? And in what way are you touching? It could be a community of people you're touching. It could be a group of people, maybe friends or family that you're touching, or it could just be one person. But in what way, who are you touching, and in what way are you making a difference? It has to be something or someone other than you. And it doesn't have to be your whole life. Don't think I don't have time for this. It can be this is the change. I said, remember, better. So it can be a 1% of that life. It can be a 2%, a 10% of that life. That's okay. But that is the change with respect to the core. In that new world, through your work, through your relationship, through the community work, or your own self, even if you're touching your own self through that, how and what are you bringing to yourself? And what power are you giving them? By that touch, what power are you giving them? Because if I have a better relationship with someone, what power am I giving them? Is it more joy? Is it inspiring them to go and do something? Is it giving them the confidence to go and do what they always sought to do? If I'm having a better home, how would that impact my family? What power will it give them? If I'm at work and through my work I'm enabling businesses or even one business or a set of people, how, what power am I putting in their hands? So today I'm spending time with you. I know what power I'm putting in your hands. And there are 26 of you here. And if each of you touches 10 lives, that is so brilliant, right? You can see how many people, 260 people, lives will be touched just by what we're doing here. That is the power I'm putting in your hands. Of course, you have the choice whether to use the power or not, but that's what inspires. And so, therefore, how am I touching you? What power am I giving you? And all of these three questions are linked. Actually, I've written it in series, but it's like a circle, right? Something inspiring because I'm touching someone in a particular way and giving them a power. And that inspires. So just write that for yourself and we'll bring it together. But I'm just saying, just write it for yourself spontaneously as it arises now. As I said, it could be people in the world, it could be people in the community, it could be your own self, it can be people at home and friends. It can be any of this, right? Write it spontaneously. Now we will expand on that. We will expand on that and say, hey, I actually wrote this story. This is December 2024, and I've lived this and I have touched people in a positive way and given them power. So if that goes true, and you're clicking a picture in December 2024, what would be in that picture? Who would be in that picture? And of course, it's a new technology, so you can hear sounds in that picture too. And when you see that picture, you see emotions in you and emotions in those people. Just write all of this. The sights, the sounds, the people, the emotions. It's a picture from, let us say, same day, right? December 16th, 2024. Just write that down. The sights, the sounds. Who are the people that you see there? It could be a community of people that you see. Okay, you may not know their names. If you're working If it's to do with work, for example, you may not know the names of people that you touch. But if it's to do with relationship or even with community, you may not know the names of people that you touch. But if it's relationships, you'll know. If it's yourself, you'll know. So just write the people. What are they saying? What are they saying to each other or to you? That's the sounds. What words are you hearing? Those are the sounds. What are the most frequently spoken words? And what do you see in in that picture? What do you see them doing? Okay, what do you see yourself doing in that scene? And as a result of all this, the sights, the people, and the sounds, what emotions are you feeling? It remembers 1 year from now. And what emotions do you see in their eyes? Take 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Just 2 minutes. The sights, which means where are you? The sights can be what am I doing? What are they doing? So I see myself, for example, I'm planning to relocate to Bali. So where do I see myself? I see myself in Bali. What sights do I see? I see people at our center, at our retreat, from all over the world. Every day I'm meeting people who I have never met before. But I'm also meeting people from our community. What are they doing? They are coming there to refresh themselves. I see in them a positive energy. I see in them joy. I see in them talking with each other, spending time with each other. I see them spending time with nature. I see them embracing themselves and each other. I see them in them that love, that peace, that joy. And in all of that, I am experiencing joy. I am experiencing being fully present for them, not thinking of anything else, just being 100% present for them in whatever way that I could support their journey and their experience in that world. That is the scene from next year for me. I see myself also spending time with our community across the world. I see people having grown, people having better lives, more joyful lives, happier lives. I see them supporting each other even when I'm not there. I see much stronger emotions. I see them stronger in body. I see myself having grown through all this, grown in wisdom and grown in love, grown in inner strength. I see a world where my relationships at home are founded on these. What's the scene from your story? Just 1 more minute. Just write down everything that comes to your mind. Do not worry about structure. You have a lot of time to clean all this up, right? You still have 15 days of the year to clean up all this, but doesn't matter. Just take your time to put all the ingredients, whatever is coming, just put it out there. You can organize it later. And then 3 questions I would ask of you to actually test whether it's important. First, why do you care about this? Answer the question. Why do I care? Don't just say I care. Why do you care? So take a page, a fresh page, and say, why do I care? I care about this because, and fill in the blanks. I care about this because every time I'm able to feel I'm empowering our community or the guests who come there, I know they will go back and have a better life. I know that they will go back with one thing that they can change about their life and bring it to the bunch of people that they have. So there is a butterfly effect of this. That's why I feel that that can contribute to a better world. That's why I care. And I care about a better world because that's the only legacy I can leave my children. That's why I care. I care also because I will feel that I did everything that I can in this life that I wanted to do. I lived a meaningful life. That's why I care. When I had the physical, mental, and emotional energy, I could do everything with it that I really wanted to. That's why I care. Why do you care about that scene? The next is question to ask is, can you read it to your friend, a dear friend, or it can be a parent or a child, but can you read it to someone? This scene. Forget about, I'm not going to ask you to read it, okay? But can you read it? If you want to, you can. But uh, please don't go around asking for endorsements of others, of your story. Otherwise, they will start writing onto your page everything that they wanted to do. So it's not that. Can you read it? Can you look someone in the eye and read it? Okay. For those of you who are believers, you can say, can I look God in the eye and read it to him or her? Can I speak to the universe and say, this is what I'm going to do with my life? So taking it to a very higher level. But can you just read it to a friend or someone in your family? Can I sleep well at night? When I go to bed, I'm going to think, you think Chandra sleeps well? Of course she sleeps well. Every day she says, wow, I worked hard, I've taken care of myself, and I've had these beautiful moments during the day and contributed to the world. Of course I can sleep well at night. Can you sleep well at night? That's just a yes or no answer. If it's a maybe, then you need to reflect on it. Or if it's a no, then you need to reflect on it. So this is a checkpoint, if you will. This is a checkpoint to say, have I got it, or do I need to go back and work on tweaking those? You may not, what has come spontaneously is true. You may need to add some elements to it to care more about it so that you can read it to someone and that you can go to bed at night and know I slept well, right? I am going to sleep. So just 3 questions to ask of yourself. Bringing it all together in the ingredients of your best story. Is it better? Does it make your life better? It must. It has to be better. It cannot be the same old, same old. It has to be better. Does it make it more meaningful? Does it make it more meaningful than it is today? It has to be more. Okay, that more has to be there. That's when it's growing. Does it make it more joyful for me? Does it bring more joy into my life? Does it make it more fulfilling for me? That means I'm impacting something, someone, something, and it's more fulfilling to me. And does it energize me? This energy is so important because every day when you wake up in the morning, it gives you infinite energy for the day. right? And when you have that energy, you will never fall sick. So that energy is so important. If it's draining, that's why I asked you that question at the start, right? Then it is not it. You need to go back and ask yourself. So this, is it going to be better, more meaningful, more joyful, little bit more of each is enough, right? More fulfilling, little bit more, and energizing, right? Energizing on more days than it is today, energizing my everyday. I wake up, think of the story, go to bed thinking of my story, and it's so energizing, it's so beautiful, right? So, yeah, just 1% better in each one of these will make your life 5% better. And 5% better every year is like a fabulous thing, right? So, don't aim to something which makes it so much more difficult for yourself. Make it better. That's it. In each of these dimensions. Yeah. This is something I wanted to just leave with you before we have a conversation. Time is precious. Make it count. Time is precious. Every day, every year, ask yourself, is it better? Is it more meaningful? Is it joyful? Is it fulfilling? Have I done something with myself to impact the world? Is it energizing? So time is precious. Start today. Start now. Bronnie Ware, in her book Top 5 Regrets of the Dying, Bronnie Ware is a palliative care nurse, was a palliative care nurse. Now she's an author of repute. And she asked people, what are their top 5 regrets? And she heard, in fact, not just five, he asked them, what are your regrets? And she, because they all have conversations, right? To want to have conversations with people. And she said the number one was, I wish I had the courage to live a life of my choice rather than what others expected of me. So bring in a little element of something which is choiceful, which you really want. It doesn't need to be 100%. It can be 5%, right? And that is what we're trying to do today, making it count. So on that note, I just wanted to pause here so that we can have some interaction. And so that is meaningful for everyone and everyone else. I, I know that all of your questions will elevate the session. And as I always say, the session is made by all of you. So let me open it to all of you. You can state a reflection of what was your aha moment, or you can ask a question of something that you're still processing. Any one of those. What was your aha, and what was something that I'm still processing? It can be any one of those. Anyone? Unsure.
Yeah, hi, Shubha. I can, for me, I won't necessarily say an aha moment, but a very important piece as a reminder and as a self reminder. Whenever I try and do something like this individually, suddenly you think of an intention and what you want to do as a mountain, as too many things, or or the big thing, the mountain that you have to climb. But in the last 45 minutes, when I was writing down, listening, making notes, I was more and more being reminded that it's not about the mountaintop or the entire burden. It's about the next few steps that you have to take today, this week, and then not worry or be anxious about the destination, and then that's the most important. That's my moment. Yeah.
Thank you, Anshu. Brilliant.
Namaste, Subha.
Thank you.
Thank you for your very, very nice intention seeking session today. I just wanted to add a small bit, which is that perhaps for people of my age group, it might be writing the next chapter, because we are unable to write the whole story. So it's really building on what we have, and then what is the next chapter. And we are also cognizant of the fact that there might be a last chapter. So it's thinking in that way rather than starting afresh with a new story.
Beautiful. Just the next chapter is enough. That is so beautiful. And I honestly wish to share this important thing. We've all misunderstood legacy as purely to do with what material we leave behind. The choices we make and how we live our life, the stories we live in, is the most lasting legacy as per science, because that's what is ingrained in all the people that we touch, including those particularly at home. It's carried forward for generations. So blessed are you. And I was mentioning to Chitra this morning that she is the Vara and you are the Prasad. So so blessed to have both of you here.
Hi, Subhash, Reena here.
Hi.
I think for me, the um, aha moment was about energizing. So if something in my story, if just the thought of it is draining me down, that's definitely not the path to go.
Brilliant. So beautiful, right? And I remember, Reena, we did this work for a day at Hot Park. So you're the first people, right? And since then, I'm glad that you stayed on this journey. So inspiring to hear.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Subha. The takeaway for me is that your approach was very, very holistic. You know, you've given us a framework based on relationships, the me factor, the work and community, because this is exactly what we do in our lives. And I also like the fact that you linked it with outcomes, you know, a better life, meaningful life, fulfilling and energizing. So you've given me a very good framework for me to fill in the details and plan my life with intentions. I don't know, resolutions don't seem to work for me, but I think intentions and attitude perhaps will be my focus as far as this outcome, as far as this session is concerned. Another um, factor you mentioned, though not explicitly, is visualizing the outcome, perhaps. I think that is what I need personally, because resolutions have failed me. So it's been a very good session for me personally, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Chitra. And that picture is that visualization, that camera there with the picture, that the picture from December 16, 2024, that was the visualization. Yes, I didn't state it explicitly, but in a metaphorical sense, that's indeed what it is. So absolutely. Thank you for that. Milind?
Oh,
Yeah, go for it. Rose!
hi. So I have to go, but I just wanted to say that what really stood out for me was the 4 areas of what we're going to focus on. And it's really hard because for me, it's always been work and community, but I really have to focus on me in 2024. And it seems just a little selfish, but it's something that I have to do, especially in the role that I'm about to take on. So thank you.
The world needs a strong Ross in body and GS, right? So
Yes.
and we're all
Yes.
here. So Ross has taken on a journey just for all of you. An amazing person that I've been in touch with this life. So lovely. And she's going to take on the role of as the mayor of Golden Valley. And in that, she's the first person woman of color to take on that role. So wishing you all the best. Ross is just so happy that you could join and get this from there, right? Pick it up. We will be in touch. And we'll
Yes,
see you
yes.
at some
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
you, Suba. Love you.
Love you. Love you too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Milind.
Yeah. One of the, sort of, I remember attending the session last year as well. So, you can hear me, right? And the question I have is I sort of realized after I wrote down the intentions for 2023, sort of somewhere along the way, I was not able to track them and see how I'm progressing along with it. So what might be the mechanism or things that we can do to ensure that we sort of stay the course through the year? Once you sort of have sort of put your intentions down clearly, how do you sort of track, ensure that you're going along it so that you achieve whatever you're looking for December 15, 24?
Okay, okay, so we are going to have subsequent sessions which we'll talk about how to bring that to life and make sure you stay the course. We are going to have it. I commit to all of you right here that we will have that. But I want you to make sure that what you're writing here is meaningful, is joyful, is true to you, and is better. So because we don't spend enough time on that. And therefore, when the foundation is weak, when you get on the journey and the map is unclear, that vision is not clear, the resolve alone, we can't solve this through resolve. So I will get to it. I will give you a structure of how to go forward with this. But and there will be 2 steps that we'll talk about. And that actually 3 steps. And I'll talk to you about it is mantra, how to convert this to a mantra. The next is understanding what stops you or blocks or fears and how to overcome them, which means what is your breakthrough, how to convert that to courage. And finally, how do you integrate this into your daily life, which is 5 things that you will do, and how do you make it happen. So I will do all of those 3 things with all of you. That's my commitment to you. Thank you, Milind. Sandesh.
Hi, Subha. For me personally, I think it's been an auto mode on my previous intentions. There has been some new challenges were thrown up during this year. So I would like to recalibrate my intentions with the framework you're given to make sure that what I'm doing now resonates to the new intentions. For me, it's just more of a calibration and sticking to that. Thanks for the framework. I'll use that framework. Yeah.
Thank you, Sandesh. I think that's helpful because every time there is things changing and we want a framework to make sure that we are doing it consistent with that. Right. Thank you. Shalini?
All of the comments really resonated with me about making small changes, not changing the whole mountain. Importance of feeling energized because that is what drives me to continue fulfilling this vision and staying true to the cause through the years, through the months, through the weeks and the months. How do we continue to stick to that? My biggest thing in my intention is to create consistency and stability. So that is also resonates with the theme of how do I follow through with this intention and this picture for the year.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So thank you, Subha, for this session and for everyone for asking questions and sharing your comments. It really helps. Thank you.
Thank you, Shalini. Anybody else? Questions? Rinku? Sunita? Nadia?
Good morning, Subha. No questions. I'm still in my flight mode. Reserve energy, just listening in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mansi, anything from you?
Good morning. No, I think that was great. Thank you so much for the learnings and for the framework. And I think also what really resonated with me was the point on energizing. And I was just reflecting through the year and kind of connecting it back to your first question around what were the joyful moments or what were the more inspiring moments. And I realized that actually, yes, living through those inspiring moments, no matter how challenging they may have been in the sense of having to give your everything to those moments, but the energy that one got out of that and the recovery was actually a lot better than the other moments that drain you out and have that long-term effect. So definitely something to keep in mind and keep that as a priority, that what gives me energy is essentially what I need to focus on.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mansi. And absolutely, to just simplify things, not make it some large purpose and all that. If something inspires me, gives me energy, that's it. I just repeat it, have more of it in my life, keep it there. If something is draining me, I have less of it, or I have to change something about it. That's it. Beautiful. Thank you. Shaila, beautiful to see you here. Anyone?
I just wanted to add, last weekend we had this mini retreat in Singapore, and I find that this is such a beautiful continuation to last week. Especially, we did the love meditation and the symbols that, comes with that has really helped me even through the week. And Subha, you also shared about your morning routine, about the japa, and namaskara, and just simple pranayama, Anulom Viloma, that I have also been trying to do through the week. And I find that really helps to, center me and, like I said, create the energy to have the consistency and stability in my life. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Brilliant. If anyone else has nothing else to say, we're going to just do a little bit of one breath work. We're going to just breathe together. Yes, Chitra.
Just one observation, Subhas. I was listening to everybody. I was also thinking, how does one translate this into everyday life? I'm sure you're going to tell us more in the future. But for now, I was thinking maybe I'll come up with an A4 kind of a chart, with the 4 components and what I want to achieve under each of those, and use this as a reminder, both in the mornings and in the evenings, as a reflection of whether I have achieved. So that is something I think that's another takeaway for me from this session. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you. That's very nice. Very good. Shall we just do one breath together? Just place your palms on your abdomen and chest. Just do a normal inhale and exhale. With your next inhale, inhale that picture from 1 year from now. Hold that in your heart for emotion and hold that in your abdomen for your strength. Hold your breath and hold the picture. Hold your breath, hold that picture. Hold the breath and hold the picture. And as you let go, welcome that picture into your life. Namaste, everybody. Thank you all for your presence today. Rangarajan, thank you for joining us today. Beautiful to see you here. Thank you.
Thank you, Subha.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sunita,
Thank you.
Matanki.
Thanks, Subha.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Subha.
Subhaji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anshuman. Kamlesh ji, thank you. Shaila, beautiful to have you here. Padma, always lovely to have you.
Thank you, Subha.
Sundaram,
Thank you.
beautiful. Nice to see you.
Thank you, Subha. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.